the death of his niece, his life with Henry Lucas, and his childhood.
I was picking up on all their information.
Tell me how you did that, Otis. Where did you get the information from?
Well, generally when somebody comes in to talk to you, they're going to have the case picked out anyhow, and they're going to throw enough of it in front of you where you can put it together. Ain't no way you can miss on it, because they're going to feed you enough information where you shove it all together. Because if something happens outside, they're going to show you pictures of the crime that happened outside. If a crime happened inside, they're going to show you pictures of building a crime that happened inside.
So when they'd show you these pictures, what did you say to them?
Well, I kept playing with it until I got all the information from them.
Why did you confess to a murder that you never committed?
I just wanted to show them they wasn't very wise themselves.
You were playing games with them?
Yeah.
How many, to the best of your recollection, how many police officers or detectives have you done this to?
I don't know. I ain't never counted.
The newspapers say that between you and Henry Lucas, you're responsible for close to 700 murders. What do you have to say about that?
I ain't even done one. I'm going to do 700.
Otis, you're not in here for a parking ticket.
I know too much. That's the trouble.
How many crimes have you confessed to, Otis?
I don't know. I ain't counted.
More than 125?
I don't know.
I see you smiling.
The law was playing games with me, so I was playing games with them.
Why do you think the law was playing games with you? Why do you think?
Well, when they come in, they had everything all picked out the way they wanted it to go, because they laid it all out.
How did they do that? How did they set that up?
Well, when they come in, when somebody come in and got a crime or something, they're gonna have so many crimes picked out to start with, and you just keep getting them to feed you a little bit more information and a little bit more, and then you get it all, and then you double back and you put it all together, then you got it.
In 1979, on a trip to Jacksonville, Florida, Henry Lee Lucas was to meet Becky Powell for the first time. Becky was the niece of Otis Toole, and the three of them started their travels around the country. Becky, at 13, began to live with Henry, and after 2 years of traveling, Henry and Otis suddenly separated. Becky stayed with Henry. A short time later, in Texas, in a violent argument, Henry was to stab Becky to death.
The day she slapped me was just like the day Mom slapped me. So fast that there wasn't no stopping it. That's one of the deaths that's bothered me the most in any of them at all. It should have never happened. I guess you can say she's one of the main reasons for me turning out to be what I am today. It's because if she hadn't died, it'd still be going on. As far as I know, I can't say positive, as far as I know it would.
You would have continued to kill?
Probably would have, yeah.
Otis remembers his niece, Becky.
What do you remember about the death of your niece? You very close to her?
Yeah.
What happened to her, Otis?
Well, the paper said Henry stabbed her.
Henry stabbed her?
Yeah.
Why do you think Henry stabbed her?
It said the detective said she slapped him and he stabbed her.
Where did this happen, Otis?
In Texas.
How did your niece get to Texas?
Run off with Henry.
Were you with Henry at the time?
No.
She ran off with Henry.
I was in Jacksonville.
How did this come to your attention? How did you find out that Henry stabbed your niece?
Well, I got put in jail for burning down a couple buildings.
You, what they call, you used the word before.
Powerful maniac.
You're a powerful maniac. You mean a pyromaniac, Otis, right? When you heard that about Henry, did you get mad at Henry?
Yeah, I was mad, you know. I said, well, if I jump on these charges like they feed them to me, I said, I hit a charge in Texas, and I can fucking up myself.
I don't understand. Could you say that again, Otis?
I said if I hit some charges, you know.
You hit some charges.
Yeah. But I hit the wrong state. I ought to hit Texas instead of hit Florida. See, I went backwards. I didn't go the right way. I started off with Florida instead of started off with Texas.
Do you believe that Henry did it?
Well, he's the only one left with.
If you were on the street and he was on the street, would you do something to him for killing your niece?
Eddie Bookwood talks to Tom Heaton.
I met Otis about 12 or 15 years ago when he was crossing through the park. He had his clothes over his shoulder. He was totally naked. And he introduced himself, and I misunderstood his name. I thought he said Alice instead of Otis. So I always called him Alice. When he went on through the park, he was arrested over at the other end of the park. Went to jail, totally naked.
After you first met Otis, did you see him again?
I would see him in the neighborhood. He would even come by where I work and do little odd jobs for not much money.
What do you do, Eddie, by the way?
I'm a hairdresser.
You have a shop here locally?
I own my own shop now. Then I worked at 8th and Main.
What's the name of your beauty parlor, your beauty shop?
Powder Puff Beauty Salon.
The what?
Powder Puff Beauty Salon.
As far as you know, Otis didn't have a regular job, did he?
He worked for Betty Goodyear. He was her maintenance man. She gave him free rent and probably a small salary. I was never afraid of Otis. If I saw him on the street walking, I'd pick him up and take him downtown, usually to the city rescue mission. And I was just never afraid of him.
He drank pretty heavily at that time?
He always smelled like he was drinking.
Did he ever say anything in your presence about killing anybody?
When he was in the car, if he saw someone he didn't like, he'd point them out and say, I'm going to kill them.
Why didn't he like them? Just because they looked different? Or?
I always thought he was just a nut, so I really didn't pay too much attention to him.
After reading all of this information in the newspapers about the murders, and as far as what you've seen of Otis and when you knew him, did you think he was capable of all these murders?
No, I always thought he was just a local nut.
The first job you had, what did you do?
I was a street hustler.
Street hustler?
Yeah.
Well, what does that consist of? What did you do street hustling?
Well, I got out and hustle people. Hustle over older people.
I mean, sexually or for money or what?
Well, I got forced into it when I was a little kid.
Well, explain that, Otis. What do you mean you got forced into it when you were a little kid?
Well, when I was about not quite 6 years old, my father's friend forced me into it.
What did he do to you, Otis?
Oh, he made me made me had all kind of different sex with him.
When you were 6?
Yeah.
A friend of your father's?
Yeah.
Did you tell anyone about it, Otis?
Yeah, I told my parents, but they said they don't think he would do anything like that, you know, because he took all the kids to the show all the time and took them to the beach and what have you.
Do you remember his name?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Chris.
And this was where, in Jacksonville?
Jacksonville.
How often did he force you into sex?
Well, after about a dozen times, you got used to it.